welcome back to Hoi 4, Equestria at War. The Ascendancy, under Hiram Zaranid, or the more important character, the guide. Much more important. Who cares about this whatever guy? Who cares about him? The guide is the main character. Now there is one other ingredient that we can use, but we're gonna go ahead and do the one that we're able to do first. So we need ground up horns, and we need the apple. The Seedling's Kiss. This potion, more than any other, has the potential to be lead to the downfall of society as we know it. The Seedling's Kiss is capable of greatly boosting the growth rate and harvest of most plants. And when drunk, it provides an equine with enhanced and near unlimited endurance. Though it mostly affects one's ability to perform, in a sense. Additionally, it can reduce one's ability to feel pleasure, leading to a devastating downward spiral if not handled carefully and in moderation. I see. Moving on, repeated use of this potion can potentially ruin a marriage, as the side effects will steadily remove the affected ability to feel pleasure, leading to the mindset of having to use more of the potion to get results, leading to a greater loss of, you get the idea, not to be used in battle, administer to plants, and to equines having trouble conceiving. Carefully control the amounts distributed. Okay, sure. Oh god, that's a potion we just made. Brewing successful. And I'll take that off of the list of potions I can make. I'm back to one from one before I found out I had another one. Brewing successful. Seedling's Kiss. From the personal journal of Hiram Zaranid. I don't know what to think about this one. This potion is extremely beneficial for crops and for all forms of plant life, as it greatly boosts the growth rate and harvest. However, it has an effect on equines, namely it boosts one's productivity and ability to be productive. I do not feel the need to elaborate on this, as I am above such things. It's not to be used in battle, that's for certain. I'll have to be careful with this one, as this, more than any other potion, can be ruined to society, one step closer to transcendence. Can we not take that step closer? How do you feel about this one, then? Oh, you're crying even more as I stay on this page. Okay, expedition start. Colthage. My journey across the world has been arduous, challenging, and taxing. Yet I've pulled through. I've bested the land of equines and avians, from the frozen plains of Changelinga, the forest of the Riverlands, and the snowy peaks of Whittentail Mountains. I have risen above, and yet there's still one left. The teacher asked me to commence my Zebrakin edition last, as he needed to solidify control at home prior to my departure in the continent, and it's finally time. I will regroup with the teacher in the city of Colthage and embark on my journey across Zebraca. If we fail this one, that would be hilarious. Guess we're not starting. You, I don't know, went the wrong direction on the road, I guess. How would you fail that? We own this territory. If you mess up traveling here, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. The teacher's welcome. Once again, the guide stood in front of Starfather's personal laboratory. Her arrival had heralded minor celebrations, but instead she chose to head directly to see her teacher. After several moments' hesitation, she composed herself and knocked on the door. Shortly afterwards, it opened, and the guide was met with another warm smile. Why, my, it has been a while, my dear guide. Do come in, you must be wary. Hiram ushered her in. Unlike the last time she had seen him, he was no longer covered in muck or filth, and instead appeared much more dignified. The way he carried himself, it almost seemed like he was more than just Hiram, more than the teacher she knew. The lab had changed too. It now seemed much more organized and less hazardous than before. There was even a small resting area with some drinks on a nearby table. Hiram stopped in front of said table and picked up a cup of hot cocoa, then offered it to the guide. I take it that your expeditions were successful? Yes, of course. I got everything you had asked for. The guide joined him at the resting area, accepted the drink. She sat down, the memories of all the hardships she had endured to get the Starfather's ingredients resurfaced. She sipped at the drink. Elishat and Zethro would have loved to be here. Without looking up from the cup, she gathered her courage and prepared to speak her mind. Teacher, may I ask you something? Oh, God, please. What is going to happen here? Oh, boy. I'm just concerned by our girl's safety. Don't get murderfied. Please. The Starfather's promise. Hiram chuckled, setting his own cup down and giving the guide his full attention. You can ask me anything. After all, you've done so much for me. It's only fair that I repay you however I can. There was a brief pause before she began. As you're aware, there are a lot of good equines who have lost their lives for our beliefs, said the guide with a barest hint of nervousness. And we will no doubt lose many more before the Godhead is restored. Can you promise me that all those equine sacrifices will be worth it? That every equine who falls in the name of the ascendancy will be remembered for what they accomplished when we succeed. Hiram turned his head, slightly bewildered. Why, of course they are and will be. This is unbecoming of you, my guide. Surely, as my most trusted disciple, you would have the most faith in our cause. I do not suggest that I am losing faith, she backpedaled. I have just been away for so long that I missed hearing your teachings, that's all. A hoof reached out to the guide's shoulder to comfort her. Rest assured, all those who perished do so for the greater glory of equinity. The defeat of Zalmar is worth any cost, and none are more willing than I to pay that cost. But before the hour of promise arrives, I require a few more ingredients to be collected. Hiram reached into his purple coat and retrieved a small hoof-drawn note. These ones should be easier since they are already here on Zebrica. The guide took the note and nodded, feeling slight relief at his words. Thank you. Thank you. I will not let you down. He grinned cheerfully, briefly looking like the Hiram she had met in school all those years ago. You never have. Now to see what else is needed. All right, here we go. Oh, not yet. No. Got another event for me before I can click on things. Well, we're finally back home to Zebrica. Finally. Good to be home. Now what's happened in our absence? Well, let's see. This. Trust in the guidance. The guide sat on a bench, planning her next journey while watching several equines of silver undergo training for the conflicts ahead. Yeah, you're seeing them undergoing training. We're about to get we're doing the power of silver right now, so you're definitely, there's a lot undergoing training right now at this moment. So yeah, let's see if I head southwest into the deserts of Zeratia, I should be able to find the Tazer worm. Then after that, she rubbed her forehead. This was giving her a headache. The guidance had been awfully quiet lately as well. She decided to just watch the trainees for now. It wasn't like she was in a rush. With the fitness, the equines of silver struck dummy targets with dulled blades and bayonets, while others practiced firing at targets from various distances. Occasionally, one would make a mistake and be punished with additional work or training. In rare cases, some who hesitated to accept the role of the equine of silver would be forced to duel with sticks against other trainees who held regal blades. But today the guide saw something that surprised her. One equine, a young Pegasus mare, threw down a rifle and refused to continue her training. An equine of gold stepped in and lambasted her for her foolishness. She spat in the equine of gold's face, who then struck her and accused her of being a crypto-avian. As the Pegasus was restrained and dragged away, the guide suddenly felt the resurgence within her. The guide was pulling her towards that mare. That's the opposite of male. Not only that, but, well, not, whatever. But this was the strongest that she had ever felt the guidance took her. Wow. The strongest you've ever felt is on this mare? We better get going then. With a the guide stepped off of the bench and went after the mare and those escorting her away. The guidess was never wrong, and if it wanted her to help that mare, halt, and then halt! In the name of the Starfather, I require that equine of silver, commanded the guide. The escort stopped once they saw who had ordered them. They attempted to bow while still restraining the Pegasus. Lady Guide, what do you need of this crypto-avian? Do you wish to judge her yourself? The guide looked into the Pegasus' eyes, seeing naught but a rebellious spirit within them. For the first time in a long while, she began to question the wisdom of her guidance. Still, she ordered the escorts to release the Pegasus. I shall grant her the opportunity to absolve her sins under my careful watch. One of the escorts hesitated while the other immediately let go of the Pegasus. The Pegasus pulled herself free from the other one, but didn't try to flee. She looked at the guide with disgust. You're a monster, all of you. Or, you're a monster, all of you. I don't know. The guide ignored her. You can come with me, or you can be executed. Your choice. After a moment, the Pegasus begrudgingly agreed to go with the guide. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather not be executed personally, so I'd go with her. Zeratia. The deserts of Zeratia are fiercely inhospitable. Though I have faced worse challenges and come out on top, the real test will be finding and obtaining the acid gland of the tasselworm, which might prove to be too difficult to do by myself. Fortunately, I have a new assistant. This Pegasus is quite rebellious, yet the guidance has prompted me to rescue her. If I am interpreting its will correctly, then, I need to help this wayward soul understand and accept their place in the ascendancy. Or, I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'd love for her to have a chance of influencing you instead. I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm so interested. Honestly, I'm way more interested in this than anything going on this. You could get rid of every part of the screen besides this part, and I'd be having a good time. Just give me that part of the screen, and I'd be having a great time. Well, actually, I need to be able to read the events. Just give me this middle part of the screen, the spot to put the event, and the part that allows me to get them. That's all I need. Like, honestly, though, like this is, like, that's all I need right now. I'm loving this. Like, I am loving this so much. I cannot overstate that. I am loving this. The lockstep legions of Equinity. Only through discipline and regulation will we unleash the unburdened capacity of the Starfather's will, by extension defend our proud and noble objective of avian extermination. Woo! We have the path of the silver now. The equines of silver are the warriors of the ascendancy, so rigorous in their training, and so fierce are they in battle, that none hope to stand against them. We cannot remove that. Let's see. Now, I'm going to be able to make a lot of these guys because of that. So I'm just wanting to see how... Okay, so we just need more infantry then. So yeah, I'll bring you down, keep you at 12, and then I'll start putting more in military. An outside perspective. Where are we going anyway? We passed Nares hours ago. The Pegasus complained as she unenthusiastically followed the guide. She stopped and waved her hoof around to exaggerate her frustration. You know that I'm not restrained, right? I could just fly away and... With lightning-fast reflexes, the guide whipped around and brought her knife up to the Pegasus' throat. Then go. Try to flee. See how far you get before this is buried into you, heretic. Need I remind you that I did not have to save you back there? The guide could see fear in the Pegasus' eyes for a moment. Zeg Pegasus quickly recovered her composure, then breezily pushed the guide's blade away. Whatever. It's not like I have anywhere to go. Especially since lunatics murdered my host family and seized the ports. Their spirits were likely corrupted by Zalmar. Fortunately, they will be reincarnated into proper equines of bronze and iron, or equines of silver if they are lucky. The pig... Oh, shut up. I was minding my own business in Colthage when your purple freaks showed up and shot every creature who refused to join your little circus. The guide paused for a moment. She recognized her accent. You are from Equus, aren't you? What's your name? Manhattan. Okay, I don't know how to do a Manhattan accent would be what it was. I'm gonna keep with the same one because I don't know how to do that accent. I know how to do normal, slightly girlish, and southern. That's my accents. Manhattan, born and raised, she said matter-of-factly. Growing up, I always wanted to visit Colthage, so I decided to study abroad once the big conflict with the Coltvins and the Constitutions boiled over. Guess I didn't think the country would implode a third time, and I'll tell you my name is if you tell me yours. The guide allowed herself a smirk. I am known as the guide. The Pegasus rolled her eyes. Really? You know what? Fine. I'll play your game. You can call me Unlucky College Student. Oh, get wrecked! Despite her desire to end this miserable brat's life here and now, she knew that the guidance had drawn her to the Pegasus for a reason. Who knows, perhaps she could help this young mare accept a role as an equine of silver. Very well, student. We are going into the desert of Zeratia to kill a worm. Yeah, you know, just come on, we're gonna go kill a giant worm. It'll be fine. You got this, you're gonna be helping me with it. Boop. Boop. We got this. We're gonna go kill a giant worm. We don't need, we're good, we're good, we're good. All that's fine as is. The plan. The next days were spent traveling across the plains of northern Zeratia. Over time, the vegetation and wildlife grew more sparse, and eventually the vast desert that Zeratia was known for were all that appeared before the guide and the student. Between taking sips of water from her canteen, the student asked, So what's this tattleworm look like again? It is pronounced tattleworm, tadselworm. From what I know, it is a fearsome creature that lives under the sands of Zeratia. Much like its name suggests, it resembles a giant worm, though it has tentacles reaching out its mouth, and it uses it to grab prey with. I don't like that sound at all. The student waited for the guide to answer, but was met with silence. So, how exactly are you going to kill one? The guide paused to retrieve a pair of flasks from glowing liquids from her pouch, showing them to the students. She said, These substances, when mixed together, act as an extremely deadly and fast-acting poison. You are going to aggravate one and toss the flasks into its mouth as it chases you. With any luck, the tatzelworm will die before it grows bored and retreats underground. The student nodded in understanding, then realization dawned on her. Wait, you want me to bait for this thing? Nuh-uh. No way. Not in a million years. The guide put away the flask. Oh, but you will. Consider this your first test to redeem yourself in the eyes of the ascendancy, my student. I already told you, I don't want to go back to your stupid fraternity club. You want me to potentially get eaten by that thing? Make me. Do you really think that's just water you're drinking? The guide smirked as the student suddenly stopped being uncooperative. I laced your canteen with an addictive potion that will kill you shortly after withdrawal effects kick in. I have the cure, but you won't get it until you have a dead tatzelworm. Fine, I'll do it. Also, you're a jerk. What the heck, man? Don't do that. That's mean. I want to live. I want to be a living being. The tatzelworm. As the sun set, the guide and the student made camp upon a small rocky outcropping in the middle of the desert. Though her knowledge of the native Imazib culture of Zeratia was limited, she knew enough that they needed to stay away from the locals. If they found out about the guide's intent to kill one of their sacred worms, then there would be charters to pay. The night came and went, fortunately uneventful. The morning, however, heralded exactly what they needed. The guide had awoken early to survey the surrounding area, and she spotted a small group of rugged zebras pulling a cart through the desert. The guide quickly woke the student and directed her attention to the zebras in the distance. See those bandits? When they are eaten, we will make our move. Do you remember what to do? Yeah? The student, trying not to sound nervous. I do. Get the tattleworm to follow me, and then toss the potion flask into it. Keep it distracted until it keels over, and oh my Celestia, I'm really gonna have to do this. You know, for being a guide, you really are terrible at. Go now! The guide interrupted. She pushed the student forward, who promptly yelped and survived. The tattleworm will surface soon. If we lose it, we might not find another one so easily. The student grumbled, then took flight towards the bandits. True to the guide's claim, the sand beneath the bandits and their cart began to ripple. The bandits began to panic as they realized what was happening. Before they could flee, the sand beneath them gave way to a mouth big enough to swallow all of them whole. With the gargantuan tatzelworm attached to it, their screams were quickly cut short as they vanished into the interior of the tatzelworm. The student's heart raced. She swallowed her fear, then yelled at the tatzelworm to get its attention. I need some water, is what they yelled at it, obviously. So they drank some water before the fight. Well, she did. It's why she's doing this. But to her utter terror, the creature seemed to move much, much faster out of the sand than she anticipated. It dove towards her with frightening speed. The student then prayed that she could fly faster than the tasselworm's head could move. She hurriedly tossed the flask behind her as she fled. The flask disappeared into the tasselworm as its tentacles reached out for the student, nearly grasping her. Suddenly, a violent explosion from behind rocked the student and sent her careening towards the ground. She landed with a thud, but thankfully didn't break any bones. Moments later, she saw the guide rushing over to the gory viscera that used to be the tasselworm, to claim the acid gland within it. The student raised her voice at the guide. You said it was poison! I lied. You wouldn't have flown very fast if you knew how volatile that mix was. Obtains ingredient, acid gland of Zerotian Tatzelworm, to be used in the alchemical super projects. Woo! We've done it! Yay! Oh, we could just move way over there, but I think I'm going to stay over on this side for now. Azur. Azur is famously known as the land of absolutely nothing. Technically, it was the largest country in Zebrica for some time, though that was more because nobody wanted to rule over a bunch of sand and nomads. The unbound magic that the teacher has requested me to obtain is perhaps the most vague ingredient yet. What does it even look like? I'll need to consult the guidance on this one. Yeah, unbound magic? What is that even supposed to mean? Well, let's go find it. I mean, I already knew it was an ingredient, because I know all the ingredients, because I've made a list of all the things that I need to make, but, you know, I still don't know what that means, either way. Whether I know we need it or not, I don't know what that means. Okay. Obviously I want to attack over defense. Who wants to defend? What sort of idiot do I think? Well, to be fair though, I do want guns a lot more than I want tanks and stuff. I'm not building tanks at this point. I think I'm going to still go with this, though. The masterful architects of nature. It is clear that we must utilize what nature has provided us to assist in crafting a cure against the numerous plagues created by the avian. This should ensure that our troops are trained in making use of the bountiful herbal remedies that litter the forests and mountains. And now, let's make another super project. What we're going to need here is a tusk, a tail, and a hammer, which will make the Storm's Caller Brew. Akin to the capabilities of a Pegasus, this exceptionally dangerous potion temporarily grants the user the ability to control weather, allowing the user to weaponize it. However, the Stormcaller's brew does not automatically stop the effects of the weather once it wears off. For example, if a user channels lightning through their own body while the potion granted immunity to the elements dissipate, the user will receive the same effect of themselves being struck by pure lightning, leading to intense muscle spasms and death. Other examples can be drawn from different kinds of weather the user wielded at the time. So this gives plus 10% cold accumulation game factor and minus 15 bad weather penalty. Because we could just change the weather and to stop the cold and bad weather. Brewing successful, Stormcaller's Brew. From a personal journal of Hiram Zaranid. Pegasi are occasionally discriminated against due to them sharing one aspect with the avians, namely the ability to fly. One thing that is unique to them, though, is their ability to control the weather. With some Pegasi displaying more talent in this area than other, I was able to create a potion that emulates the power of their equines. Upon her return with the ingredients, my most trusted guide seemed troubled, as if she had suffered during her time in Graphonia. I know not what happened there, but I did assure her that the ingredients would be put to good use, and clearly they have been, as non-Pegasi under the effects of this potion can manipulate lightning bolts almost like superheroes. They'll need to remember not to be touching lightning when the effect wears off, though. One step closer to transcendence. We cried. I'm still not over that. But I think this is a good time to go ahead and end this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. And I'll see you in the next episode. As always, peace.